Oh wow, if it isn't that it was nothing but a concept made by Hugh in 2007 in his blog, and then it got popular somehow and now has multiple media about it. Some people even joke that she's just a Tsunemi with black hair. This song got almost 9 million views by the date of this video on Nico Nico alone, and it was made by Supercell, and it's also the intro in the anime. Hyuk, born in 81, who went to an animation school after graduating from high school, and then later he joined the company as a character designer. Later, he resigned from the company, decided to work as a freelancer. He worked on a franchise like Metal Gear, Steins Gate, and he even designed the character for the VTuber Kiara, the chicken from Hololive, you know. At the time, he was mainly influenced by Ashley Wood art style, who will also work in the Metal Gear franchise with rough and pretty details and such, and he liked it. Then again, what is Black Rock Shooter? In 2007, Hyuko was posting some of his artworks on Pixiv, and then a specific one blew up. This one being Black Rock Shooter. In 2009, Ryo from Supercell saw it and decided to make a Vocaloid song about it. It was even available in the Project Diva series. Hyuk said in an interview that it was his first time making a music video on it, and he was pretty surprised when he was contacted by Ryo. He already knew him from the song Meruto. Also in 2009, we got an OVA for the anime. In 2011, again, the one I will be talking about, and an anime in 2012, and so on. There's even a recently released anime which is something. Neither of those relate to each other except for character design essentially. Look, there's multiple versions of it here on the Wikipedia and they're completely independent from each other. The 2012 anime is mostly about anime girls dealing with their emotions in another world, and in this world, the only thing they can do is fight. Now, there's the game. And honestly, it's my favorite entry in the franchise. It was localized in 2013 in the West, and is essentially an action RPG slash rail shooter on a 3D environment. It starts with a slight mysterious tone. Aliens are invading the Earth and destroying everything in it. The reason is unclear. And you begin with a tutorial to shoot an enemy. For some reason it's called Dead Master and has nothing to do with this character, or this one, or this one. Like I said before, no characters has any connection with any other work, so yeah. And hey, look what we can do in the game, basically. You can shoot, dodge, block, use 4 skills at a time, and also there's a hit gauge that overheats if you shoot too much or try to dodge too much. And that's about it. It's pretty unique, not gonna lie, but it gets somewhat repetitive. I'll get to that later on. Hey, look, it's White Rock Shooter. No foreshadows here, right? Well, some skills are more useless than others. For example, Vortex, shown right in the beginning, does a lot of damage, but it makes you really vulnerable to attacks. Not only that, but there's a little bit of delay to dodge or block, making you take damage due simply to input lag, and it makes it a little bit annoying to control Black Rock Shooter. And also, you cannot do anything while shooting. From now on, I'll be using the game soundtrack on the video. And talking about it, they are pretty good actually. They remember to some extent the soundtracks from Mega Man X5 and 6, but with its own thing. You should check it out sometime. If it sounds a little bit different from the game, it's because I'm using the album version. The PSP has some compression in it. Some songs are pretty okay, some are heavily compressed in the game. The composer is called Namiki Manabu, and he also composed for some arcade games in the 90s like Battle Garega, and then later most notably for games like Death Smiles, Dodonpachi Daiojo, and Ketsui. That's a little bit for arcade fans out there. The first thing you notice about the gameplay is the game works in a kind of semi-linear world that you walk with the analog stick and move the camera with R and R, and you'll see some spots, the blue one being save point and the yellow one being for healing free roam mode after unlocking the missions. It is split a little bit like Peace Walker, split by mission stages, and the stages are basically countries. And you must make some objectives on those missions, like kill certain number of enemies, or enable or destroy the generators, or simply talk to everyone there. The game in general is kinda easy. I've only died 3 times or so in my playthrough, while getting used to the controls. And also, if you die, you come back with all XP you earned to this point. At every stage you may have secrets in some subpaths, and like healing items or skills. At the end of every stage you're gonna have to defeat an alien, and the aliens here are the main bosses of the game. Some are more difficult than others, but in general they are not very hard. The first stage only introduces you to the basic mechanics of the game, with no special gimmicks yet. Just re-enable doors or destroy some generators at most, defeat enemies, and that's all. The alien from the stage is pretty easy, nothing difficult at all. Just use some healing items, do stuff, and that's it, you win. The second stage has a bike to pilot on a 3-lane road, defeating enemies between the main missions and defeating more enemies on the mission itself. I liked it, not gonna lie. But this game has a thing called challenges, and in general most challenges are pretty easy. Usually consists between defeating a certain number of enemies or doing certain missions to unlock certain stuff, and they usually unlock skills or give you more damage, something. But the challenge here involved doing all the 3 bike sections without taking no damage at all. And to be honest with you all, I feel save states because fuck this. And for what? Scooter never used it, obviously. The alien from this stage was also easy. I kinda like his design, to be honest. It's pretty cool. The third stage must follow a certain snowy blind path, following boxes through radio and destroying the jammers so you can communicate with your friends. And then you go back, go forward, and suddenly you find a girl to stay in the cabin. The alien here is not troublesome at all, and then again, I've said this game is not hard. The first stage, you follow the goat that you found on the last stage while you found yourself in a forest maze, following this girl while repeating paths because you both got lost. And then suddenly you have to rescue her because she decided to go by herself in some point. This stage also has my favorite music in the game, just check it out. The alien from this stage is actually the second hardest here. You can die really fast if you don't watch out for your health. He also has a skill to take out the lock-on of your aim, so yeah, he's not very easy. The fifth stage doesn't have anything special here, and it is at this point that you start to notice out its repetitive design. Most enemies are just recolored enemies from the previous stages, and in general, there's nothing really new brought to the table. You only have new skills at the most, more damage, and that's it. And again, the alien here is not hard, it's just annoying to deal with respawning rabbits and such. But I kinda like her design. This song, I kinda fuck with the Lucas voice, not gonna lie. And to be honest, the last stage is kinda cool. This moon atmosphere and this kind of design, but again, the design is still a little bit repetitive. The enemies are just white here, this time. Your mission here is pretty simple, just destroy two fortresses, or in other words, more enemies to destroy. And then you have actually two aliens here. The one I'm gonna show, and the other one is a spoiler, so whatever. And to be honest, it isn't hard to figure out who it is, so I'm gonna show it anyway. The first alien in general is not very hard, it's just we need to watch out for your health. But Wide Rock Shooter has some attacks that can actually kill you with full health with just a single hit if you don't heal up during it. I don't want to talk much about the story in general because simply I want you guys to play this game. The story isn't the masterpiece or anything like that, but it's pretty cool. I like the way the protagonist is treated here, like some sort of creature that doesn't know herself, anything about it, forgets. But in general, I'm not gonna talk much about it. I want you guys to play it out. Seriously, it's worth it, even though it's a little bit repetitive on the gameplay side. If you decide to play it by yourself, there's more than one ending, and also there's a lot of extra content, and some extra content that I did do, some I didn't do. And in general, that's about it. Thanks for watching.